Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the show, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Flatzoid, Chocolate Saying, Jibby Jedi, Quantum Eraser, Paul and 10th Man in G+. Very good to have you all.
Good to be here. Hello.
Yo.
Mahalo.
Hello, and we're also joined by a whole bunch of people in the Discord server. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be.
Good times for all.
Indeed. Subscribe today. Any evidence of Earth curvature?
Not from Andorra.
Only on the
Definitely not from England.
Nathan,
Not from Transylvania.
Nathan,
Andorra
Not from
is a
London.
municipality.
how do I get privileges to type? What do I have to do?
To type in the Discord server? I can't tell you. I'm not.
Yeah,
It's not my server, to be perfectly honest, so I don't really know how to operate it. I don't know how. I've never typed in this server, so I don't know. Any?
I kind of like your laugh, you know. I'm just getting
Excuse
to
me,
know
sir.
you, Nathan.
Les, no offence. We have this process called housekeeping where we discuss the intricacies of the globe lie, and all we're doing is keeping
Absolutely.
house, checking that if you
I-
have any
I
of these
actually-
things. So you don't need to interrupt
I
me
know that
or
you
nod
don't
along
like
or confirm that
overspeaking.
you can hear me.
I know that you don't
Les,
like
you don't need to
overspeaking.
nod along. You see, when you asked in the pre-show if we can have a discussion, what that involves is you not talking while I'm talking. So you seem to be critiquing me and my pointing out that someone interrupted me 21 times. Now you're doing it. I'll try again without interruption. Hopefully you don't nod along saying yes as I'm saying what I'm saying. You actually listen with your mic closed. We'll see how you get on, Les. So I'm asking a series of questions in regards to the fundamental lie we've been told about the nature of our reality. I take this quite seriously, and each time we start the show we ask these questions to ascertain, the people on the panel like yourself, if you have any evidence of things like axial rotation. Do you have any evidence that the Earth is rotating about an axis, Les? Or anybody on the panel for that matter?
I was trying to save us some time and trying to tell you that I know about your housekeeping questions.
That's fascinating. Do you have any evidence of axial rotation? Anybody on the panel?
No.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Not from Sri Lanka.
Incredible.
Not on Earth.
The majority of the Western
Kosho can
world.
type,
Oh,
but
here
I
we go.
can't.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you sound
my
like
bad.
Gojo.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm Kosho 2.0.
Yeah, I thought so. That's Gojo.
if you think so.
Yeah, I don't know. You sound like it, sir.
It isn't
I don't
kosher.
care who he
I
is.
will back Les up on this.
I don't care. The majority of the Western world believes that the Earth is rotating about an axis. Is there no evidence of this? Good afternoon, Arwin.
Hello. Hello.
Amazing. Hey, Arwin. Hey.
Ballers.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, no axial rotation.
Nathan, Nathan, I know that the axial rotation is. I would like the permissions to type in your chat if you would like to grant me that option.
Sorry,
How many
maybe
times you
my,
got to tell you?
I was
It's
subtle.
not his chat.
I was subtle last time. Yeah, I don't really want to discuss the
Uh,
administration of you being able to type in the Discord server, as it's a live show where we talk to each other. So your ability to chat in a chat I don't even look at doesn't concern me while I'm doing housekeeping. I just need to know about axial rotation, and you're wanting to type. So do you want to tell us if you have some proof that the Earth's
well,
spinning?
this is your channel,
Rather than
so
interrupting me
I have
before
to
I've
ask, do I
concluded my
understand?
sentence,
So I'll
it
show
seems
you.
you're talking through me again. You'll know when I stop talking because I'll stop talking. So you don't need to start at the point you think is appropriate to talk through me. The thing you criticised me of when you joined the pre-show. So this is the second time I've pointed out that you criticised me for pointing out that I was interrupted 21 times and how you felt that was somehow unreasonable, or asked about whether or not it was normal, and now you're doing it. So I want a yes or no answer to this closed question directed at you, Les. Do you have evidence that the Earth's rotating?
So you assume my position is what I'm.
No,
gathering.
that doesn't assume your position, you complete fucking idiot. It asks a simple closed question with a yes or no answer. It doesn't assume anything. Do you have evidence that Earth is rotating? Someone could ask me that question, and they wouldn't know my position on this regard. I'd just say no.
Well, then we are in accord.
Any scientific
Les,
evidence of gravity?
Try to type now, Les.
Yeah. We've all got something to bring to this conversation, I believe, Les. The thing you should bring is silence.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Les.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No, none at all.
None whatsoever.
Of what?
That's scientific.
None in Transylvania.
Scientific evidence of what? What is it?
Gravity, Arwin. Is there any scientific evidence of gravity?
I don't understand the claim. What is gravity?
They don't understand the claim either.
Because in the
What is
theoretical
gravity? Next
field,
question.
they don't use a scientific method. It's unheard of.
Gravity
Use
and
of
Coriolis
logic.
are the same thing. I pee in the toilet, and then I see Coriolis.
Actually, the pea stream is more of a DNA strand, kind
Does
of.
it all go down the toilet?
Oh,
though?
God.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Well,
into
see,
the
it's
DNA, huh?
housekeeping.
Oh, my brother. Oh. There we go.
That was funny.
So, is there? Again, there's a large chunk of Western society that believe in this not force that people can think of as a force called gravity, based on the bending of a conceptual medium dreamt up by a chap called Einstein. Is there no scientific evidence for this complete nonsense that people believe in?
No.
Definitely not scientific.
Yeah,
You can-
I concur with no.
You can walk up to anybody
Just go
and say,
outside.
"Do you think
Gravity's
time
holding
is
you to the
bending
ground."
anything?" And
Here we
they
go.
would
Got
say
a claim.
no.
Hold on, 10th man. I'm really sorry. Go ahead, my friend. I heard just go outside. Gravity's holding you to the ground.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
really?
go outside. And it's holding you there. Otherwise, what else
You
is
didn't
it?
listen to the question.
So would that be
Scientific evidence for gravity. Can you people hear?
No, they can't. They only hear what they want to hear. So is that scientific evidence? What's your name, my friend?
No, I was just being facetious again. That's their every time you point out that there's no scientific evidence, they just say, "Well, yeah, but gravity. What do you mean?"
I see.
That was a tease.
It is. It was a tease. It was a tease. But thank you. I appreciate your.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry. My sarcasm is very thick and
Yeah, very.
believable.
It's all
Sorry.
good, man.
Oh,
But it is kind of a thing that every time gravity is brought up among ballers, that at least everybody like tries to conceptualize from their perspective what they think it is.
Usually
Here-
people
here's
Like
just drop
sometimes a
something.
force, and then it's
Ta-da.
not a force, and that it's you can think of it as a force, and then just all gets lost in nonsense.
A new claim? Did I hear something else from Discord? Go ahead. Rumblings? Was it Democ? No? Maybe not?
No, Paul is trying to say something. Can you hear Paul, Nathan?
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I'm trying to help them out, so maybe this might help them. Would me not flying into space be a phenomenon, or me flying up in the air be a phenomenon?
If you just randomly flied up in the air, so you're standing around and then suddenly, well, I'm looking at some person, happens to be you, and they suddenly just fly up in the air. Yeah, that'd definitely be a phenomenon.
No, that's not the question, though. Me not flying up in the air, would that be a phenomenon?
Oh, I missed that.
Standing...
Sorry, my bad. The antithesis of what I said then. You not doing anything? No, that's not a phenomenon. No.
Okay. So me not going into space is not a phenomenon. Okay, cool.
Oh, what? You not randomly flying off and... No, yeah, that's not a phenomenon. That's nothing happening.
Okay, that's it. You can move on.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nah. All assumptions.
Or maybe a personal apparent distance to the sun, but
Apparent closeness via Dwayne Kelm's balloons.
Do I need to add actual into that housekeeping question? Come on.
Apparent.
No. Actual. I want to see a tape measure.
We like saying apparent.
No?
no.
Really?
No
Nathan,
confirmed measure
Nathan.
distance to the sun.
Go on, lads.
Yeah, I'm new to this, this group. I have a question. There is no animosity. It's just pure curiosity. Because I listened to your last stream, and I was listening to this. You call it a roundabout. I call it a merry-go-round. Whatever. It's the child's toy, right? I wanted to know what is the value of this demonstration? Like, I don't understand this. Please demonstrate, explain it to me as if I was a child.
Well, I don't need to. I don't make a claim in that regard. The words Coriolis effect would never cross my lips, but for the fact that there's a positive assertion from the people who believe they're on a spinning sphere. So I don't need to make anything clear in that regard. I don't use it in any claim I make.
So there's
Would you
no
think
need
you
for
were on a
claim
spinning
at that
sphere
point.
if you were illiterate and a farmer immigrant and everything you noticed was flat, stationary? Somebody came upon you and said you live on a spinning globe with Coriolis effect. What would it take to convince you?
Well, it's not about that. My focus is this demonstration with the merry-go-round. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
Oh, I
I
see.
don't
With the
understand.
drone.
Right.
No worries. It's just a
but
demonstration of Coriolis effect. You can look it up.
Yeah, well, I understand Coriolis effect.
Well,
and
clearly not, because I
centripetal
detail it
force.
with a roundabout and a drone, and you're asking me about that I have detailed.
Let
So
me
you-
try to
Look,
clear it up,
He
Nathan.
said he understands it. Hold on. He said he understands it. So please define it with citation.
Right. You want me to present you with a model from Wikipedia that has been presented on your streams or Nathan's stream. We are all familiar with this concept. I just don't understand what this
I
demonstration
don't think
with
you are.
the
I'm
Yeah, I don't
telling
think you are either.
I think you're a
The-
pretender clown.
Yeah,
Did you
So-
claim to understand? So prove
Oh
it.
my god.
Sorry,
the purpose of him asking you to recite what the Coriolis effect is and then citation
I'm not
what
Nathan.
you said
Nathan,
before
hold
you
on.
interrupt
I'm not
me.
asking about the Coriolis
Yeah, I'm
effect.
asking you
I'm
something,
asking
but
about
again,
this
this
demonstration
will be the
specifically.
fourth time you've interrupted me. Now, you asked in the pre-show if it was normal that I have to count off the amount of times the fundy globehead I'm talking with interrupts me. This would be number 4
Well,
for you. That would be
you're
number
talking
5. So from this point on, it will become normalized because you're talking through me. So far, that's the 5th interruption. So please,
Okay.
that's the 6th interruption. So please, I appreciate that on 6 prior occasions you felt the need to interrupt me. Please don't do it a 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th time. That gets very irritating very quickly. Especially from a
7 is
person.
my lucky
That's the
number,
7th time. That's the
I'm gonna
7th
stop at
time this asshole has interrupted me. Let's start calling him what he is, an asshole. Because it's the 7th time he's interrupted me. So I'll try once more. I don't make any claims in regards to Coriolis effect. The example we give with a drone and a roundabout, merry-go-round, whatever the hell you like, is simply detailing what Coriolis effect is, and you're asking me about that. Now, you've been asked, given that you have stated that you understand it and we all understand it, that you demonstrate that you do understand it by telling us what Coriolis effect is and then backing it with a citation. Over.
Oh, am I allowed to speak now? I'm not over speaking, right? I simply asked why I don't understand this presentation. I don't understand the scaling up of it. We all talk about this stuff. We all know what the Coriolis effect is. It's a matter
tell
of
us.
if it can be applied to a globe, right?
Tell
That's
us then.
the core of it.
Tell us
right,
what it
Nathan?
is.
Les,
chocolate.
The waffling,
chocolate,
bro.
chocolate.
It's not gonna really fly here, man.
Just need to define it.
Define it.
Yeah.
Well, I fully know this, Choco, but I have to say,
I don't want you to tell us 6 more times that you understand it or call him Choco. You just need to tell us what it is and then back it with citation. I'll give you one more attempt to prove you understand what it is, and then I'm just going to kick you out for being a wanker who constantly interrupts and doesn't back anything with citation. Again, in the pre-show, you bleated that people should get allotted time, and we pointed out that we prefer people make a claim and then support it. You claim you understand Coriolis effect. Now support it by telling us what it is.
Just boot me, Nathan. Kick me out.
Why? Don't you know what it is? Wouldn't you prefer to just demonstrate that you do know what you know because you've said you know it?
Essay. Your turn.
Come on, let's just have the conversation, man.
You said you wanted to compare what I did by demonstration to what a globe does. So you want to transpose this into your begging the question fallacy. I heard that bit. But before we can do that, we'd need to know what it was and whether or not you understand what Coriolis is. And you'd rather be kicked out than define Coriolis. Amazing. Shout out to Awakened Marek.
It's quitting.
Les, this is simple shit, man. This conversation could have been over if you'd explained Coriolis. Very simply, it's very simple to explain what the Coriolis effect is. You understand this. I don't understand why you're not doing it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm done with it. I'm gone. I'm leaving.
Not for nothing, him explaining it with a roundabout
So you were
and
challenged,
drone is
and
like
so
explaining
you quit
it to a
when you were
child.
challenged.
Why you fall for
Okay.
this guy's game? He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows the argument sideways from now to
It's
Sunday.
Kojo.
He's just playing with us.
That's okay. I don't need. I got what I wanted out of him. I got him to the point where he explained that what he wants to do is compare my example to his begging the question fallacy. He made it explicitly clear he wants to compare that to a globe model. So what he wants to do is use my example to beg the question. Oh, right. Well, isn't it amazing how quickly I led you to declare that you needed to beg the question of a spinning ball Earth, whoever the hell you are, Les. Yeah, that was pretty concise. Pretty quickly unpicked that nonsense back to the begging question fallacy. That's the, eighth person to do that in 72 hours.
Yeah, and he didn't know what the Coriolis effect was, even though he claimed he did.
That's correct.
And to prove something, you have to understand what you're proving is. So you need to define it and then walk through each step of the proof of that, right? Wouldn't that make logical sense?
Yeah, that's the point he gave up and ran away. Because he knows that just by defining the Coriolis effect, it will undo any argument that asserts that Earth has that effect. Because he'd have to define it with the 2 separate reference frames that are claimed to be Earth spinning and an atmosphere above it. And planes would have vastly reduced air travel time travelling west if the Earth was spinning underneath them, as would be described in a definition of the Coriolis effect.
I think part of the problem is that so many people, the rhetoric is so thick that so many people only think that Coriolis effect is related to Earth and has no other use of Coriolis in their regular life. And the only time they hear about it is in relation to Earth turn.
And that's precisely how they want it to be. And any examples of actual Coriolis effect will immediately be strapped down and locked tight to the non-inertial spinning reference frame so that they can later beg the question that Earth is a non-inertial spinning reference frame. It's just a ham-handed way, a little segue, using this word, Coriolis, to beg the question of a spinning ball Earth. It'll never happen again here. It's never gonna. It's like it's as stupid as assuming someone can come along with the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking curve calculator and assert it proves Earth's a sphere. They'll never get away with that either. They're never going to get away with using Coriolis as a segue to beg the question. It's just never going to happen. They're just going to get laughed at from now on.
I mean, they might as well come in with the toilet flush. The reverse toilet flush crap. I mean, that's where the Coriolis is right now, in the toilet.
Yeah, with them, because they don't understand it.
Any evidence?
Never
globe model
will.
doesn't-
I have yet to hear one retard baller state what the Coriolis effect is and provide a demonstration. Yet, in 3.5 years.
Can you back off your mic just another couple of inches? Thank you. There's been a couple of super chats from Awaken Narrative, so I do want to shout him out. I only got half a shout out for him a moment ago, so if you can just give me a couple of seconds, I'll dig them out. So shout out to Awaken Narrative, who says, make them squeal. Debate team, truth is winning. Thank you very much for the super chat, Awaken Narrative. And then he says the same again. Make them squeal, Nathan. The globe lie is dead. Really appreciate all your support, Awaken Narrative. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. So, any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Oh dear.
I have evidence of an ironic core.
Negative.
Well, maybe there's a pseudo core.
What, fake? Fake core?
A sham.
Maybe.
Sham core?
Maybe it's an apparent core.
What about the presupposition itself? Earth radius, the R value.
Well, that would take us back to question number one, which is Earth curvature. We would need that. And somebody would have to measure that and then measure the radius. That would need to be measured too. So we don't even have the first question, the curvature. So I don't know how we got a radius of a ball with no curvature that doesn't exist.
Could I be cheeky and just say a radius of what?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Arwin. Radius of what? Oh, the ball I'm going to presuppose Earth is. That would be the answer.
Right.
Ooh,
What
that's
ball?
going to be a problem.
But then
Yep.
I would say what ball? I would say the ball you're trying to measure.
Go on,
Or
Travis.
What
The
ball
other
are we
Travis.
trying to measure? There's no ball.
But there must be, because we already know the distance to the sun, so it must be a ball, because it's the same.
Right, of course. How do we know the distance to the sun?
It's weird. All of these questions all lead into each other, and every time they think they have one, it goes to the other one, and where they come full.
Well, that's exactly the point. If one of these questions can't be answered, well, then you don't have any of the other ones. All these
The
questions
answer-
need to have a specific answer in order for this to be a ball.
To
And we
answer the
and they
question,
fail. I'm sorry, Tim. They fail at question one.
it's okay, Chaco. Hey, Nathan, you got a super chat. I'll finish once you read it.
Okay, Captain Will, massive thanks for the super chat. It says, shout out to the new and improved Charco nickname?
Cacao.
Is that what it is?
Chaco. The guy called Chocolate Chaco.
Oh, cacao. Oh, right, okay.
Cacao saying he's
Cacao.
blacker than ever.
Gotcha. Shout out to the new and improved Cacao nickname. Got you. And then another shout out to
That's
MC
east of
Universe.
Java.
Nearly there. Another shout out to MC Universe Sacred Truth Seeker, who sends me some unicorn farts. Thank you very much indeed. Go ahead, 10th man.
He didn't call him cacao. He called him choco.
I know. I called it cacao.
All right.
I said like, hey, if you're gonna call him choco, then call it appropriate and go back to the original name. What chocolate
call
is
him
made
white
of? It's made of cacao, boys and girls.
Wow. Very deep. Thank you.
White
They,
chocolate.
when your whole argument is based on begging the question, the only way you get bailed out is to have another begging the question that supports the first one, and then another for that one. So that's why they just keep going from the R to this to the gravity to everything else.
You know what it is, guys? You guys just don't know how to measure triangles. That's what it is. You just can't trig. That's what it is. You just can't trig.
Maths is reality, remember?
If I could trig, would that prove that I live on a ball?
You're supposed to be able to do that. You can use some trigonometry, and you can prove that you live on a ball. Come on, Chocolate, don't you get this?
With math?
Oh.
Where's the actual measurement of the ball?
You got another super chat?
I was going to say, I'll read out Dave Rakia Gafford's super chat. So he says, so what you're saying is Earth isn't spinning, and there is a creator, Rakia Life. That's right, Dave. That's absolutely right. Thanks for the
Could
super
be
chat.
more than one.
Say that again.
I said, so what you're
Could
saying
be
is
more than one creator.
Can't be more than one creator.
Why?
It's a contradiction in terms.
No, it isn't.
You can't have two creators. The one would have to been created by the other creator. If you had two creators, the other one wouldn't be a creator.
I'm thinking of local, like creators of this, not so much that.
We're talking about the definite
We
article.
don't know where it ends.
No, but you don't know where it begins either.
Right.
It's just that there is creation, so there has to be something that created.
There has to be a beginning and an end.
that happened,
No?
nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Go back to
But
the
it is
logical.
created. That is.
What doesn't
Another quick shout out to Dave Rakia Gafford. Say my name, Nathan. I'm on mute. Don't pass over the truth. God is good. Shout out to David Rakia Gafford.
you have to say?
Well, not localized. Localized, it could be more
There
than
we
one,
go
and then
again.
you go creation above that.
Yeah, but who would create those localized creators? That's the issue.
We can create a localized miniature dome system ourselves.
Yeah, but you would still have been created.
There's too many people talking.
Right.
Hold on.
You're only questioning
Guys.
that at a
Hello.
local level.
Hold on. Dave Rakia Gafford says, say it, Nathan. Say it. Dave Rakia Gafford, he wants me to say his name. Great job with this true thing. Rakia Life is here today. Thank you very much for all the super chats, Dave Rakia Gafford. Really appreciate your support. I just want to hear a couple of people. Guys, hello. I just want to hear a couple of people at a time. I don't care who they are. If it's Arwin and Jibby or QE and Jibby or whoever and Jibby, I don't care.
Sounds like IQ Flattener 2.0.
Who's what? Say again, Travis.
I said it sounds like IQ Flattener 2.0. Over.
Oh no, you'd be surprised. Jibby's a smart guy.
Can I say something about
I get
the
lucky
creator?
sometimes.
Just whoever, just nominate somebody. Obviously, this has triggered a lot of people. Well done, Jibby. Cool. All
Paul,
for it.
go ahead, Paul.
But who's going to have the conversation with him? Just nominate one person so that it's not constant over talking.
Me. Just kidding.
Paul wants to talk. Paul, just
go ahead.
Talking.
I'm also named Paul.
Jebby, do you know what the infinite regress fallacy is?
Is that where, like, who created God, that kind of thing, mirror in the mirror?
Right. So you can't have an infinite regress. So there has to be an initial cause. So that's what John's talking about. So
What's the initial cause?
And
why do you only give singular creator?
Well, wait a minute. Even though you may farm out or subcontract, of course, Lily decides to scream. Even if you subcontract out the work, there's still only one creator that's the creator of everything.
All right, if you're going back to prime source of The creator of the creators, or in parentheses S.
Yeah, that was the context, though.
We could be a sub-creation of creation.
Well, but I don't think anything bears that out. I mean, in the biblical worldview, all things visible and invisible were created by one, not multiple. There was one creator.
In that book, format of this one region where the book is, predominantly sound. There's other regions that believe different things, reincarnation and whatnot. I always give the open door to more than one creator. Like, where's
We
Mrs.
already
God?
just showed you that that's
We
bunk.
can't have a man or a woman without a man and a woman to
What
create
the
that.
hell are you talking
Mrs.
about?
God. Well,
What in the world are you talking about?
Mrs.
Stick
God.
on creator.
Yeah.
There can only be one creator. I said definite article, right? Stick to that creator, not people creating stuff on Earth. We're talking about the creator of the universe. Are you saying there are multiple creators of us in the universe?
I don't know what the universe is in regard to flat Earth, but there could be more than one creator to this realm.
There we go again. And please demonstrate how.
I'm just saying the possibility, open door. I'm not saying definite, demonstrable evidence. I'm just saying there's a possibility.
I'm not going to do it again.
How can we nail down one creator only as a definite?
You overtalk me again, right?
I apologize.
You're just going to repeat the same claim again like you did 3 times already. I'm not playing this game.
I just have an open door to it. I don't know.
Well, I'd like to play this game with him if he wants.
You can find Owen. Just let me shout out Awaken Narrative. Shout out to the chat team. Squashing the globe. Really appreciate your support, Awaken Narrative. Fine, Owen. Go ahead.
Right. So there is a little point, but it's not the same type of discussion. But for me, what I've been pointed at in the face of biblical information is that when creation of the earth realm was done, it's the Elohim, as in not really a singular thing. But that doesn't undo your argument, though, QE, because it's not about the individuals. It's like this argument is not about the gradient, it's about the antecedent. So you can argue like the individual aspects within it all day long. Doesn't take away that there's just an antecedent situation going on, and that is there is creation. So it must have somehow originated from a singular being.
I just have to say it's awesome to hear Owen talk from the Bible.
The idea could be singular. The manufacturing could be plural, is all I'm saying.
Again, you're talking about the gradient, not about the antecedent.
Yes.
Those are secondary causes.
Right.
Sure.
That's what I was alluding to.
Somebody made the trees. Somebody made the cells. Somebody made the atmosphere. I don't know. Like a plural effort is what I was saying.
Right, from secondary causes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. We're settled.
Yeah, I have a question mark there. I have no definites.
No, that's okay.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
The only problem you run into, though, is these multiple God ideas. So there's multiple creators, so to speak, which means the ultimate, the ultimate being of all things. You can't have multiple of those. There can only be one. So it's always going to go back to grounding of one absolute being, all of it. Even if there is multiple things out there. I mean, I think even C.S. Lewis.
Yes, just the way the cell duplicates, kind of like it starts at a single cell.
Another shout out to Awaken Narrative says, Truth Life, no name above his name. Truth Life. Awaken Narrative, thank you very much again for the super chat.
It does appear.
Well,
prime source is singular.
But the cell is still created thing. The ultimate creator is not a creation.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything, anything else, everything, like even if, let's say, I mean, give like Erwin, I think I know what Erwin's saying. Let's say God, he created an angel and he says, go make the firmament. He could have done that. But
the hands, I call the Elohim the hands of the creator.
I mean, but that still doesn't mean that that thing that created the so-called firmament is the creator. He's an instrument of the creator.
A helper.
Okay.
The hand.
Oh, sorry, this has gone so far off. Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying about the derivatives of the creator, but I'm sure I can't remember who to give him credit, but somebody at the start of this conversation said, "Isn't that inherent in the name, creator, i.e., singular?" That's where we're at, right? Other than deriving stuff that came after that singular, it's a infinite regress fallacy to say who created the creator's creator.
But I think that there should be distinguishment between design and build, because the creator is in the design. There is the proof, and that doesn't require the creation or the designer to be created itself.
All right. Well, let me just say, like, what if you're currently illiterate and you have no book, you have no anything, and you're to gauge your existence and reality and whatever, would you use a singular creator or plural, or would you just leave it open?
It's not up to the clay to figure out anything. The thing made is the thing made. The potter decides what the clay looks like. So whether you're illiterate, blind, or not, or the smartest guy in the world, has nothing to do with it.
Okay, so I'm hoping this will...
Isn't there a bigger question of, like, what is the nature of reality in the first instance?
Yeah, we live in a quantum world. I hope this super chat distracts away nicely. So P-Brain, thank you very much for the super chat. It says, oceans would never rotate with the Earth. They'd rush to the equator. Keep killing it, guys. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Also, a shout out to MC Universe Sacred Truth Seeker, who says, what if Elohim are artificial intelligence? Good question. Hopefully you'll get answered after I shout out Dave Rakia Gifford, who says, the creator, the great I am, the most high, God doesn't need help. Excellent.
Right.
Got one more
I don't know how many you've had here, but I consider myself a V-Arthur. I don't consider it simulation. I consider it a VR, as in a brand new creation. Like, what is Qbert or Pac-Man a simulation of? It's not a simulation of anything. It's a brand new creation, which is what I consider this, a VR, which in kind of a way, the Bible kind of suggests. Like, we existed before, we exist after. We
didn't exist before.
Virtual reality.
We did not exist before.
No, but that's another aspect of reality.
Wait
this
a
is
minute.
the physical realm.
Wait a minute. The Bible cited. Where does it say we existed before?
All right, it doesn't suggest that, but the majority of the world pretty much feels they existed before this place.
You said the Bible.
Kind of innate memory or something.
Then don't say the Bible says we existed before, because it says
okay,
the
thank
exact opposite.
you. I thought it insinuated it, but
it does.
I don't think it specifically says it. No. Which means that every soul would be then brand new. So there's a source spitting out thousands of souls brand new every day. Here.
Just say Roger when you're done.
Roger.
Hey, if you want to have this conversation, please come on my early break. No, I'll round it out. But I want this conversation on my show. There will be no interruptions. I like this conversation. Jesus Christ, can I just invite him?
This will go on forever, 10th man, unless you just let him. It'll take 10 seconds, I'm in no doubt.
Well, let me finish his ending. He said, Jesus Christ, finish it right. King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Don't use in the curse word or out of frustration.
Yeah. No, I appeal to him in my frustration.
Look, Alwyn, you said I'll round it out. 10th man wants to round it out, but yeah, no blasphemy. Just please give us your 10 seconds, because it's getting further on away from 10th man's point with every second.
Blaspheming.
No?
I'm not blaspheming, one. And second, I like this train of thought. I've been trying to dive into complex biblical issues myself. similarly. So I'd love to have a discussion with this guy on my channel. If he could add me on Skype, please. It has to be through Skype.
You're just
That would
borrowing on Skype.
Fine.
You're gonna have
Jonathan.
complex biblical issues from Jibby, who
You're
just
both in Master
admitted.
B.
Not
I clicked
complex,
it.
just maybe outside the lines.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
It's
like
more
getting-
intense. It's like so rude. He's desperately
I've
trying
been
to
a
get
VR guy before.
Tip man, getting triggered.
It's
No,
not getting
I
triggered.
was
He's just
VR
getting.
before
Everyone's being
Flat
really
Earth.
rude to
I
him.
thought it was a
Yeah,
bullshit.
I call
Hello?
it simulatory.
Ugh,
That's what I
guys.
call it.
Arwin, Jibby, 10th man's been desperately trying to get his words in for the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right. That which is natural is first. Then, that which is spiritual. Now I'm all confused. Your natural first, then spiritual. The Bible doesn't teach that you were here before you were given a body. The Bible doesn't teach that.
I'm trying to look
teaches-
at it if I was illiterate and didn't have the Bible, and how would I perceive this?
Well, this is again. You have so many. How could I put it? Variables there. If you were illiterate, I could paint you in this storyline. You're born, you're illiterate, but you didn't create yourself. So how would you look at that? Someone created you, but you just happen to be illiterate. Well, who created
Right,
you?
but
Well,
what I see of creation as
I was in the middle of a
created by
conversation.
mother and father.
I was in the middle of a sentence.
I apologize.
You were created because of your mother and father, and then they were created because of their mother and father. These are all secondary. The primary is God, who created everything. Now, if you want to go and discuss who created God, then you're going to have a problem, because God says he's self-existing. He's not self-created. Because then if he was created, there would be a God before him. So
And
it's a
my
logical
point
fallacy.
is that, my point is that your evidence of creation of living beings require two. It requires a mother and a father, and then you reference the Bible as saying,
No,
singular.
No,
Singular
that's
created plural.
No, you missed the whole point. If God wanted to have offspring to come off of one person, he could have designed it that way, but he didn't. He designed it with a woman and a man. It's God who
But
creates.
where's your evidence of that?
Well, my evidence is very simple. The very reason you and Arwin want to get together and discuss the Bible, my evidence is in the Bible.
Okay, well, so you're citing a book as your evidence. Okay, all right.
I'm
That's all I
citing
was asking.
not only the book, I'm citing reality. It takes a man and a woman to do it.
Yes, reality takes two.
Okay, no,
Bible says one.
it does not. You need a knower of the path information to create matter. A single knower. There's the evidence. Do you want to go through the evidence? I have scientific evidence for it.
Sure.
That's what I thought. Well, scroll down in the info box on this video, right? It has creator versus atheism. There's 4 proofs right there. Go ahead and go through them, and then come back when you've debunked any of them. Thanks.
Okay.
Jimmy, let me finish.
Hold on, let's talk to QE.
I have a question.
Let me talk to QE. Wait me a second. 2 seconds.
Let me.
QE, can you just back off your mic a couple more inches? It's just I'm having to turn you down every time you talk.
Can I finish? Because I have to go
I'll
get
do it real
tires
quick.
for my truck.
Go ahead, 10th.
All right, I'll finish because I have to go get tires for my truck. I don't need God. I don't need. How can I put this? Let me just say it just bluntly. I can just look at creation and know there's a creator. I don't need faith. My logic, my mind is working. I see creation. I instantly think creator. I don't need faith to believe in a creator. Okay, because it's in nature. God has put it here to where I don't have an excuse to offer down the road when I want to offer an excuse. Because he says, you saw it in creation. You knew creation couldn't exist without a creator. What was your passion about it? Did you have one? Did you look for me? Did you seek for me? That's where it starts. So faith comes afterwards. I already know there's a creator. I just got to find him.
Okay, ideas do come from singular. Ideas. Life comes from plural. Ideas are singular, yes.
Well, wait a minute.
Question,
There's a
10th
problem there, though. There's a problem. Okay, you said life can only come from multiple. Well, if God is the creator of life, then he's the source of life. So he can be singular and still be the source of life. It's not illogical.
I've never seen an example of singular source of life.
Really?
Well, you're looking at creation, so you're going to see that. But I mean, if God is the initial cause of existence, then if only life can, you cannot get life from non-life. So God has to have life within himself. So then he creates life.
Sorry, before everyone rumpuses, just want to add this in because it's already been said once. So I just don't want it to slip on by. So QE just said this. So he said, how do you get life from singular? But QE said, to get matter, you'd need a singular knower. Now that was very concise, but the more expansive version is in the info box below this video. So I think it's called Science versus Scientism, the Creator versus Atheism, and it has precisely what QE just detailed, scientific evidence of that statement.
He also has to define what life is. Do you know what asexual reproduction is, sir?
Yes, and I was thinking of that example as I was saying it. Yes, asexual reproduction. Okay, that is an example of singular.
Yeah, thanks.
But then we have to definitely associate the creation of all as that specific example.
No, we don't. Can we move on, because this is a nowhere discussion with nowhere claims? And
no, I agree. It's Biblically arguing. I agree. We should move on.
Oh yeah, the argument's been over for the past 20 minutes.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Hold on. Someone in Discord still got something to add. Go ahead, Discord, whoever that was.
No, I appreciate the knower and the path and the fact that, you know, you have to, if we know about it, it can change reality. And given that we now have uncovered this entirely huge lie, that would mean that basically every single book would kind of have to be rewritten in a way. And I'm not, hashtag same team. I'm curious as to what would make, and the, 10th man and Paul and QE, what is it that's bringing you back to the Bible? Not that I'm, I never would have, all my life was an atheist in science and all that stuff. And, at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting, and I get all of that. But probably the most controversial book at this point would be something in the Bible. And I'm just curious as to what makes you guys go back to that. As I'm trying to put this delicately. Does this make sense at all?
Yeah, it makes sense. Just answer one question before the panel does. Have you read the Bible?
It's been years, back in the day.
Anybody on the panel want to field that? Who's put to several people, Paul, 10th, and QE?
Yeah, I explain it in the Creator versus Atheism presentation. It's at the end, it's the last part. I answer that question. And I've played it a number of times on here. So
about going back to the Bible being like literally.
From there.
Can I say something about it?
Again, I just want to shout out Flat Ball. So, crab stick in cornetto for Alan. Okay, I don't know what that means, but thank you very much, Flat Ball, for the super chat.
I mean, really simply, the Bible, in the sense, describes reality, what we see. You could see the corruption of mankind, it's in there. It sees the creation of the world, it's in there. Obviously, it has the flat earth that's in there. You also have the nature of redemption that's in there. So, in a way, that I say, whatever religion best describes reality, that's where you go to. And the Bible does seem to describe what we observe and experience very regularly.
It does. And there are books that I could cite that say it was a dark and stormy night, and Skeletor and Optimus Prime took over Megatron's world of, and the rest is fiction, but it starts real because it has real elements of reality we can identify with in it.
But there's a difference, though. There's a difference between Megatron and the Bible, though. The Bible has historical evidence backing it up. Megatron does not.
It has
It's
evidence
just
of the
using
flood. I'm on
archetypes.
board with a lot of the Bible. Don't get me wrong.
Kick your god's ass.
Yeah, I'm just saying if things can be corrupted as much as they have been, how or why is this book not been corrupted, especially given the different versions of it throughout what we claim to think we know of as history, even though we know that history has been altered in ways. You know what I
You
mean?
test it. You test it. It's got over 1,800, I'm sorry, 8,000 prophecies. So you test it. That's what you do.
Shout out to
How do
Isa
you test
Maholsky.
prophecy?
Shout out to Isa Maholsky. Says Jabiru 2020 and then a fire. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Shout out to Isa.
To say that it's been corrupted, okay, you have to deal with the manuscripts and textual criticism that a lot of scholars go through. Like for the New Testament alone, there's over 5,000 manuscripts that are spread throughout the Mediterranean world that they compare to see how the Gospels that are written or Paul's letters that are written, that they can compare it to. To say it's corrupted, that means you just have to say all those manuscripts are corrupted. And if you want to say that the Old Testament is corrupted, that means you have to say that every Bible version that the Jewish person has carried down from generation to generation has been corrupted. And also, they proved that the Old Testament was very reliable because they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 1960s that actually had the whole book of Isaiah in it, and they compared it to the manuscripts they had today, and there was only like slightly maybe punctuational issues that were difference between the two. So to say the Bible's corrupted, you're going to have to go through and show that every bit of this archaeological and historical evidence is invalid. But you can't.
Yeah, you
No,
just
I'm
say
just saying, given the level of corruption that we are now amongst, and we see the level of corruption, and literally, I'm in a hotel right now, and on the friggin' sink, it's got a picture of a ball tilted, and it says "Save our planet," and with the friggin' towels. I mean, it's so everything has to be called into question. Everything we think we know, we have to think we don't know. I don't know. It's just once you come to this, it's like everything.
You just have to test everything.
Yeah, I think we've gone around in a full circle now. So you're saying, well, I believe everything could potentially be corrupt, and the answer you've got is, well, test the claims. That's the answer. So, yeah, I think we've come full circle now. Can we round out housekeeping?
Okay, no, that's fine. That's. I was just curious. Hashtag same team.
Yeah, I know. Nobody's being overtly aggressive towards you, and it's the same questions I've asked, and to be honest, I got the same responses. So no, don't worry about it.
No, I know. No, I'm just saying. I know it can be kind of a touchy subject for in the past and whatever. I was always curious because I'd never in my life, like I said, atheist all day. Until you start to realize stuff, and it's kind of a crazy turnaround.
I appreciate that. I don't think you've got anything to worry about, but on the other hand, Jibby comparing the god of the Bible to Megatron, that's an outrage. Megatron would kick that god's ass.
Hail Megatron.
He's a giant.
Starscream all day. It's all about Starscream.
Yeah, screaming at the stars. Anyway, add me on Skype, buddy.
Yeah.
It's not cheapers. There's no good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Got 5 minutes left and one housekeeping question that didn't get covered. Any evidence that you can have gas pressure without the necessary antecedent of a container?
Gravity is all you need.
You got more than you got one more left.
Sorry.
Yes, I have. You're right.
Nathan, I got a video for that housekeeping question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's in Skype. It's a quick 1 minute one.
Whereabouts in Skype? Skype's a big place.
It's a minute long. Whoever can.
Okay, I got it. I think.
I'm sure he means Master P.
Yeah, it's in Master B.
Does it need volume? Do you need the audio?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a soundbite, I think.
Volume, V, and over here is going to be vacuum of equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available. right? You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available.
Very good stuff.
Nice.
Okay, so is there any evidence in the entire history of the fields of cosmology, astronomy, and astrophysics of any... Oh, what's going on? Of any verified scientific hypothesis from any of those fields in their entire history?
Nope.
No. Viable. Not verified. Viable. One single viable scientific hypothesis in the entire history of astronomy, astrophysics, or cosmology.
Does peer review count?
No. A hypothesis apparently doesn't have to be verified, just has to be viable.
I saw some on the telly.
You saw a valid hypothesis from an astrophysicist, cosmologist, or astronomer?
Well, all he said was science is right, whether you believe it or not.
But that would be a true enough statement, though, wouldn't it? It's only the assertions that come thereafter that are the problem when Neil deGrasse Tyson says that. So saying science is right whether you like it or not, well, yeah, if you've got a valid hypothesis and it's been confirmed by a systematic experiment. Try to pop yourself on... yeah.
That's the genius of their doublespeak. That wasn't, I don't know who was coughing, but that's the genius of their doublespeak, that he's right. And just coming from him makes people think that he's right.
It's a magic spell. He says science is right whether you like it or not, and then doesn't point out that he's not using that. He just makes his next assertion.
Do you have evidence for the...
once you see through it,
witchcraft?
you can't unsee it.
What was that?
Agreed. It does, just to round out that housekeeping question, though, does that not, if you're watching this and you're like, these flat earth idiots, doesn't it horrify you that the fields of research that assert the nature of your reality do not have a single viable hypothesis? They have no science. That should horrify you. If you're a flatty, you know this already and you don't care. They're all liars. They claim they've got science because science is right whether you like it or not.
They hand wave it and then and assert formological.
Absolutely. That's all they've got. And with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Another massive thank you to all of today's Discord and G Plus panels for making this live show possible. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley premiering stream, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!